everyone. That's a good thing to mention about your brand. You have a very body positive brand, and tell a little bit about where that came from and why you think that's important to have tons of sizes and have it be super adjustable and kind of fitting all bodies.
Well, like just my life in general, I've always been like a big person, and it's just difficult to find things to wear that fit and look nice, and I'm not paying like $50 more than say something that you or Eli would buy.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that's bullshit. Like,
It's total bullshit.
It is total bullshit.
Yeah.
And like I just wanted it like, or we just wanted it to like be able to like fit as many sizes as it can, and if it doesn't fit you, we'll make one that fits you.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good thing to mention as well, that you'll customize.
Yeah,
absolutely.
we'll customize.
Yeah.
It's our favorite thing.
Yeah.
And as long as we're not like messing with the design too much, it will cost the same. Like, so if we had to like make something bigger or make something smaller, across the board, it's all the same. Because we wanted to make it accessible. Like, you know, why should I pay $50 more than somebody who's like, you know, more of like an average size?
Yeah.
And like,
because how do they justify doing that? Because
material.
Because it's more
and
material.
Stuff. Yeah, but often like I've been sewing since I was like in high school.
Yeah.
And because I was like, I'm like not liking what fat girls get to wear, and I'll just make my own stuff.
Yeah.
And while there is more material, it's like if everything was kind of priced the same, like kind of averaged out,
Yeah.
then everybody could be paying the same amount of money, and it wouldn't be like not one group of people is paying like, you know, $50 is a lot of money if you don't have $50.
For sure.
And it might as well be $100. So
yeah, might as well be 1,000 at that point for some people. Yeah.
and
for sure.
So it was important to us to be just like,
yeah,
you're gonna pay the same amount, I'm gonna pay the same amount, and like
it'll all even itself out in the end.
And we want to make your leathery dreams come true.
leathery dreams come true. Can you tell me a little bit about leather, like like the manufacturing of it? Where do you like? How does one make a leather thing?
Oh, well, we go to the leather store.
Yes.
Well, first the leather is an animal.
Yes.
Generally a cow, sometimes a pig, sometimes other creatures.
Yeah.
So
Snake.
yes,
Snake.
lizards. And we always are very grateful to the critters who give their lives so that we may make beautiful leathery things.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
But yeah. So
And then essentially, is it just like sewing any other material once you get the leather?
Debbie would be a better person to talk to. I've started sewing leather.
Yes.
I'm like a
so
junior sewer.
Yeah, so still you pretty much do the sewing and you do the assembly and design?
Yeah, and the cutting.
And cutting? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, sewing leather. I started sewing leather in about 2007, 2006, where I got my first job working with leather. And I faked my way into that job.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. And I've used an industrial sewing machine before. Of course. But the more I worked with it, the more I understood, like, leather is great to work with.
Yeah.
It's, while not terribly forgiving, it does what you tell it to do. Like, you know, and there's like some materials like sewing, I will not sew some materials because I just hate it.
Yeah.
I like the material, but I'm just like, no, this is just
Anything that frays, I'm like, forget it.
yeah. like I refuse to sew any chiffon or like super light silks. I don't like chiffon, but silk I like.
Mm-hmm.
I go and buy that stuff from somebody else.
Yeah. Someone else can sew
Somebody
it.
else can sew it.
Yeah.
But leather is, surprisingly forgiving.
Yeah.
You know, when you stitch it and have to take stitches out, you will see the holes.
Right.
You know.
But you just got to be a fucking professional. You got to.
Yeah, you just got to.
Measure twice, cut once.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And, you know, it's just, I really like sewing leather, and I love my sewing machine. So
What is it? Yeah. It's a nice one.
it's a beast, and I love it.
She's a beast. She's a sexy beast. Why leather? Why did you both get into leather? Do you have a reason that you're drawn to it?
The leather. Well, we'll have to go back to my childhood for this.
Leather.
So, yeah, I think the root of my leather love is the fact that from as long as I can remember, I've been kind of a horse crazy kid. Like my first word was horse.
What?
And I was very fortunate to have a family that could like allow me to pursue my love of horses. And so I was a competitive equestrian in Alberta. And being in the barn as, you know, a young kid, you learn how to take care of tack. So the saddles and the bridles and all the stuff that you put on the horse, as well as your boots and your chaps and all that kind of stuff.
And it's all leather.
And it's all leather.
all leather.
And I remember always walking into the tack room and just loving the smell of the leather, as well as the smell of the horses, because it is one of my favorite scents. So as a
Horseplay?
pony play?
Pony play?
I haven't really taken part in it. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm
Absolutely.
like, I like to look at that.
And I'd love to make gear for ponies.
Yeah, like talking about like those pony kind of like all leather,
the
a leather
masks.
mask,
Yeah,
but
the
it's like,
masks
you know, the
and
whole
the blinkers and the,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Oh.
You know, it's
It's a
on the
culture.
list.
It's
It's
a
on the
cul-
list. There's so much that I want to make.
So yeah, loved the smell, worked with it often when you were young.
Yep.
So
And-
when did you get sorry to cut you off?
Well, that's fine. And then, I was like a young kid into my teens, tweens, and then I can't remember how I kind of stumbled onto this, but then I saw this image of Tom of Finland, like a Tom of, I don't know if your listeners are familiar with Tom of Finland.
Tell us.
He's quite a famous fetish artist, and if you saw a drawing of his, you would definitely recognize it. He's most well known for drawing like super butchy, muscular leather men, like leather
Daddies.
leather
Leather
daddies,
daddies.
right?
Yeah.
So in big boots and jeans or leather pants and motorcycles and like super hot and homoerotic.
Yeah.
And I saw that for the first time,
And you're like,
and I was like, I feel funny.
something's happening to me.
And I'd always loved boots, and so all these like images
Boot blacking?
involved big black boots. Yes, I am all
Boot blacking?
black as well,
Yeah.
which is another story.
Not to reveal all your secrets,
Yeah.
but
And you know, as I got older and more mature,
Yeah.
I guess, not a little kid anymore, but
sexually.
realizing my own sexuality and what I liked and what I didn't. Leather continued to be kind of a major part of what turned me on.
yeah. Because leather culture,
Yeah.
that's a huge thing.
It is.
Right? Like why leather, I guess, is the question. Like, what do people find erotic about leather? You mentioned the smell.
Smell.
Is there like a kind of a
feel.
the feel of it?
Yeah, like, you know, there's different kinds of leather.
Yes, as I even just know from all your different products, the metallic ones are like so soft and like buttery.
Yes.
Whereas like some of the black ones that you do are more stiff and have more body to them. So
Yeah, so it's like smell,
yeah, the
feel,
smell.
and just the durability, I think, is part of it as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's tough.
Yeah, it's just a
And-
good material for
Yeah.
what we need to do with it.
Exactly.
For tying up people, for harnesses,
Smacking.
for
and,
smacking, for flogging, floggers, for strapping dildos to ourselves, all kinds
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah, and it's sturdy, and it smells nice. It looks nice. It's just like,
I'm wondering, is there like a carnal kind of primal thing about it? Because it's animal. It's animals.
Yeah.
An animal's skin, essentially, right? Like an animal's hide. So
Yeah.
there's something like animalistic about it.
I would say definitely. Also, an element of like protection. You know, as a rider of motorcycles,
Yes.
I've always said that being a motorcyclist is an excellent excuse to wear leather because
Head
it really
to toe
is.
leather. Yeah. Give me a reason.
It's the most protective thing you can wear.
Yeah.
Because if you go down on asphalt or anything, instead of your skin getting made into like cheese grater road rash, your leather jacket gets it.
Yeah. Have you ever fallen on your bike?
Oh yeah. I've been in a couple of crack ups, and I was wearing my leather, and I got a little bumped up,
But you didn't die.
but I didn't get road rash the way I would have.
Good Lord.
I didn't get denuded, if that's the right word.
I don't know.
Sounds
I
like a good
bought
word,
it.
so-
I believe
Yeah.
it.
And I mean, I think it's a common, could be. For me, it is. When I put on my leather jacket, I kind of feel like
Feel
I'm putting on my
badass.
armor.
Yeah, your armor.
Walking
yeah.
down the street, and as I'm a trans man, and as a young leather dyke, like when I was in my 20s, I would put on my leather jacket, and I'd feel like I could take on the world.
Yes.
And
it's
now,
a uniform.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah. And yeah, that, and not only that, it's a badass uniform.
Yeah.
Like leather can look more kind of soft and pretty.
course.
Oh,
But
yeah.
in general, when we think of leather, like black leather,
Yeah.
badass,
You
right?
think of,
Like, yeah.
Marlon Brando, bikers,
Yeah.
rockers.
Yes, yeah, all those things. Yeah, rock stars.
Yeah.
Totally. I feel like
Punks,
a fucking
spikes, and like all of those different cultures across the generations really have this one thing in common.
yeah, for all genders
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
Anybody that puts on a leather jacket or something like that, it's like,
Yeah, you can have a small idea of kind of who they might be. You can't make assumptions, of course.
No, you can't make
No,
it. But
yes,
you
of
can,
course.
But
you're
it's
like, all right,
Yeah.
pretty
I
good
see you.
indicator. Yeah, I see you.
see you.
I see that.
Okay, so I feel like we can't go too much longer without talking about my sponsors.
Of course.
Yes.
Important.
The most important, of course, is Unicorn Collaborators, which we've been talking about tons. And the main things that I always say about your brand is that you're body positive. So you want to offer things in a lot of different sizes and have them be very adjustable. And if you don't carry something that
We'll make it.
we'll make it.
Yes.
Yeah. Collaborators. Collaboration.
Yes.
Collaboration. And that you guys been doing this. You're both two queer unicorns.
You bet.
Been doing this about 5 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Together.
Together.
Together, yeah.
Together. Yeah. What I found out now is you both have been doing this much longer
Yeah.
than the 5 years. You're cool with people DMing you for inquiries and whatnot.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna give all your info and stuff like that at the end of the podcast. But I'll just throw one out now. Unicorncollaborators@gmail.com is a great place to get a hold of these fantastic fucking two unicorns. Ask about all the amazing different products that we're going to be talking about today, and we're going to be talking about a lot more in the second half. One of my other sponsors is Oasis Aqua Lounge.
Yes.
Are you familiar?
Yes.
Oh.
Yep, been there.
Oh, been there a couple times.
Just a couple.
Yeah. Somebody brought me there. I was there in a group once. Oasis is a sex club that is located here in Toronto at 231 Mutual Street. What's great about Oasis is they're inclusive of all genders and all sexual orientations. They're basically like one of the reasons that I go there a lot is because it's basically just like a sex positive hub for like the community.